Hi there, everybody. We are talking about how to pray by using the Lord's Prayer as a blueprint. Now, today we come to our final verse. This is Matthew 6, verse 13. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Once more. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I love 20th century history, and I'm just fascinated by the cause of the world wars, and one of the most interesting comparisons to me comes between two men who had the same job, but two vastly different outcomes. And these were the British Prime Ministers, Neville Chamberlain and Winston Churchill. They both had the same job, with similar circumstances, but their perspectives were completely different. Winston Churchill had a sense that he had a real sense of the true danger that they were facing, whereas Neville Chamberlain somewhat diluted and downplayed it. And of course, it was Churchill's urgency about the situation that really helped rather than hindered the war effort. Now, as we come to this verse, we have another reminder and request type of verse. And here's the reminder. When Jesus says, deliver us from evil, you might notice a footnote that says it could be translated from the evil one. For various reasons in the Greek, I prefer the evil one. I think it's a more accurate translation, but I won't bore you with all the details. But here's the reminder part of this prayer. You have an enemy. You have an enemy. And the fight to remain faithful will in fact be a fight. If in your life you're going to worship God as holy, if you're going to see His kingdom come and His will be done in your own life, in your city, in your neighborhood, if you're going to be provided for by God, all the things we've seen feature throughout this prayer, it's going to be a fight. There is an enemy who actively wants to steer you away from the purposes of God. And so Jesus says that we should pray that we would have God's help in the face of the reality that we have an enemy. So in the face of that reminder, his request is to deliver us from the evil one, from the tempter, the one who would steer us away. Now this is such a good practice in prayer that every time we pray, we call out to God asking for His help and His power in the face of our enemy who would steer us away from the purposes of God. So in your prayer time, what this looks like is setting your perspective for the day. This is why I love to pray in the morning. It sets my mindset for the day. Hey, it's not peacetime, it's wartime, and I have a very real enemy who's going to try and thwart every effort to remain faithful to the God who has remained faithful to me. But that shouldn't frighten us. In fact, it should point us to the fact that when we ask for God to deliver us from the evil one, He is more than capable of doing that. How do we know? Well, earlier in the Gospel of Matthew, we have God Himself facing up against the tempter. After Jesus' baptism, He's sent by the Spirit into the wilderness to face temptation and testing for 40 days, and He is victorious. And here's the good news for anybody who believes in Jesus. The Spirit of Jesus Christ dwells inside of them as the one who helps them and empowers them against their enemy. If you believe in Jesus, as you pray and you ask for God's help, He has provided you and will provide you what you need to face up against your enemy. When you look at Jesus Christ, we can take heart because our God will deliver us from the schemes of the evil one and preserve our faithfulness to Him. God bless you.